responsibility for ourselves and as parents for our kids and our community, and not deferring, to the federal level. They asked me about the Department of Homeland Security. There's some things in there that we should have, but it's a giant bureaucracy. I mean, they have FEMA and all of the Coast Guard and everything else, just a huge bureaucracy. It becomes inefficient. It's central economic planning. It doesn't work, and we as conservatives should never endorse big government. Does that mean we don't care about taking care of problems? No, it means that local people would take care of the problem. They would have more money and less regulation. Down in the example, they put a lot of blame on the president for the New Orleans thing, Katrina, which was unfairly placed. It's the system that has been bred into us for so long that it's institutionalized that we're supposed to be doing these things. But it was so abusive. Instead of respecting private property rights, instead of allowing local people to take care of things, or property owners, I mean, they came in and they took guns away from the people. They couldn't even get So local solutions, really, we should stick to that position, which we've had for a long time, and we've drifted from it. And the one example that I give about solving problems locally, even with hurricanes, was, I was in my district, and it was the worst natural disaster in our history. Was the hurricane of 1900. 6,000 people died. But there was no FEMA, no federal government. They came in, and they rebuilt the city, they raised the city, they built a seawall, and it's still there. And they were able to do it. It's not like saying, well, if the federal government doesn't do it, that we don't care. That's been the problem with conservatives for so long. That we didn't vote, for the welfare system and taking care of everybody from cradle to grave. They say, oh, you don't care. The liberals do that to you all the time. You have no compassion. There's only one method in government, one economic system that is truly compassionate, and that's a free market. That's the only economic system of freedom and free enterprise, but it has to have a sound currency, and that's why the founders were so adamant about only gold and silver being legal tender, because it was sound economics, but it also restrained the growth of government. Governments couldn't do anything that they didn't have money for. But government has a role to play. Private property, contract rights, and sound money, and minimum regulations, and all these things. Free trade, trading with other countries is very good because you're less likely to fight with countries that you trade with. So there's a lot of sound advice to produce the prosperity that we all seek. But we have to have confidence and an understanding on how it works. If we know how it works, we shouldn't shy away from saying that we are the ones who are compassionate. Right now, it's implied now that we don't go along with the Democrats' proposal of socialized medicine, we don't care about people, medical care. But all you have to look at is the total socialized systems, and they don't get better care. But the reason we're in this problem with medical care, and believe me, I witnessed this, because when I went and started medicine, it was still private. And I didn't see people in the streets. I didn't see problems, but we institutionalized corporatism in medical care. Now it's corporations that run medicine. And it came about not through the marketplace, but by tax laws and by ERISA laws and retirement. The companies were forced to deliver care in that system, and they excluded individuals and small companies. And now we have a mess. Now we have corporations running it, and the lobbyists up in Washington are very heavy-handed. The drug companies come, the HMOs come, and even our own medical professions look the same way. They come, and they're always wanting to improve managed care. And we've lost our confidence, but there's no reason why we can't understand that issue. I also am a strong believer in freedom of choice in medicine. And monopolies in medicine aren't any better than any other monopolies. But people should have freedom of choice, and the more centralized you have medical care, the less choices you will have. Less choices about your doctor, less choices about alternative care, less choices about vitamins and nutritional products. Today they are regulated too much, and they're getting ready to be even more regulated. And there's a move on to have world regulations through the WTO controlling nutritional elements. And I am absolutely opposed to that. our centralized government, too much government going to Washington. It should be as local as possible, but I certainly resent it when they become international, when we start looking at the next level. And the WTO is nothing more than a subset of the United Nations. I don't think our national security is enhanced in any way belonging to the United Nations. I think we'd be better off. That means that we wouldn't have to over-subsidize and be the biggest donor to the World Bank and the IMF and the WTO and all these organizations. And I think the same way with the more localized managed trade groups, the NAFTA and the CAFTA groups. I don't think they're necessary either. Woo! For certain, I don't think we need another new one coming in, which they're pushing down our throat, and that's the North American Union. We don't many individuals in Washington in both parties have pushed us in that direction. It is the real reason why they are unconcerned about our borders. There's a very little I would have our federal government do, but we do have a responsibility for our national sovereignty, our national defense, and protect our borders. Dealing with illegal immigration. And, my approach there has been that don't subsidize it. If you subsidize something, you get more of it. And the biggest subsidy is the implied promise that if you come and stay long enough, if you're patient enough, and you can bring your kids and have a baby here, we'll give you citizenship. Yeah. And I don't think we should reward illegal immigrants with